Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Lorena and I'm a self-concept and manifestation coach, mentor and guide. And I'm here to help you change your state of being, step into the most empowered version of yourself, rebirth you into a new version of yourself so you can consciously manifest all of the things that you want. And today we're talking about self-worth, specifically in the context of manifestation and how important it really is to feel truly worthy of your desire. Because to some extent, we all know this, right? We know that if you feel worthy of your desire, you're more likely to believe it, you're more likely to manifest it. But this is not the only thing. Self-worth is the key element, if you ask me. Most of my work, despite me also teaching manifestation, revolves around helping you shift your identity, helping you change your self-concept, helping you change the way you perceive yourself and you perceive your circumstances and just feel so differently about yourself and your life and who you are, because it's such a strong basis for you to call in everything you want after that. Once you nail that, once you nail your self-concept, and once you feel deeply empowered and deeply worthy within yourself, the rest is just a natural side effect. So self-worth, worthiness is a huge part of my work and my coaching. That's why we're talking about it today. And also, I encourage you to stay until the end of the video because I have a little surprise for you. A little gift from my heart to yours that I think is really going to support you with your own worthiness. If you're new here and you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I upload videos every week. I would also love it, whether you're new here or not, if you left me a little like and maybe a comment so we can connect. Feel free to share the video if it supports you. And yeah, let's get into it now. So to start out with, I want to give you 4 different points or reasons why self-worth is so important and how it can keep you from stepping into the reality that you want when you don't feel worthy of it, and how this might also be happening without your conscious awareness. And I think that's a really important element. So the first point is a lack of self-worth can block your desire from coming in, can block your manifestation from coming in. And here's why. If you don't feel worthy of what you want to call in, you can want it as much as you want it, but you're going to repel it, likely unconsciously, if there's a part of you that doesn't feel fully worthy of receiving it, or that questions your worth, or that doubts whether it's possible for you. So that is not only something that may keep your manifestation itself away, right? That it doesn't even come in the first place. That can also keep you from receiving the things that are currently already in your reality and put you in a place where you're in a lack of gratitude and appreciation. So for example, maybe you have in the past always called in very unhealthy relationship dynamics where you've always been chasing unavailable people and they didn't treat you right. And you start doing the inner work and you start consciously manifesting and you call in a partner that is really healthy for you, a really healthy and beautiful and nourishing relationship where they love you, where they treat you well, where they choose you every day, where they claim you openly, all of the juicy, yummy, delicious things that you'd want in a committed relationship. But if there's a part of you, even though it's here, if there's a part of you that doesn't feel fully worthy of it, then that relationship will likely feel too good to be true, and you might reject it unconsciously. You might start sabotaging it. You might repel it. You might start calling in the old relationship dynamics again, although it started out so healthy, right? There's many people who manifest whatever it is they want. Let's say, staying with the relationship topic, they manifest the relationship that they want, but then it shifts again. It goes bad again. They slip into old toxic behaviors and old dynamics again, and they wonder why. They manifested it, but they couldn't maintain it. And that often has a lot to do with self-worth and your self-concept, of course. The two are very much interlinked in a lot of ways. Now, that doesn't mean you need to feel 100% worthy at all times. It's not possible. We're human, we doubt ourselves, we question things, we get insecure. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being fully healed. You can have all these things and be all these things when you're not. But it's about having the awareness and knowing how to treat any unworthiness that arises, knowing how to integrate it, knowing how to work with it and alchemize it so that you end up back at a place of confidence and self-worth. But that's a whole other story and a way deeper topic. Another example that's unrelated to relationships, because maybe that's nothing you're interested in, is you win the lottery. But if you don't feel worthy of that money, you will not feel comfortable holding it. You will not feel comfortable with that responsibility of having that much money, and you will likely lose it real quick. 70%, approximately 70% of first-time lottery winners who weren't rich before end up going bankrupt within the time span of just a few years. 70%. Did you know this? That's a lot. Why is that? Because they're not used to holding that much money. They don't feel safe with it, and they likely don't feel worthy of it. So for anything you want to call in, if you don't feel deserving of it, your subconscious will not see it as natural and therefore repel it, as in drive it away or block it from coming in. The second thing is deeply related to last week's video, and that's about if you don't feel worthy, you're way more likely to give your power away. So that can look like you continually looking for outside circumstances to validate that you're on the right track, that you're on the right path, that your manifestation is possible, that you are worthy. You're going to look for outside circumstances or people outside of you to validate your worth. You might even look for your manifestation to validate your worth rather than validating your worth yourself, feeling worthy first yourself, and letting the rest shift accordingly. So not only can that keep manifestations away, of course, even if they were all to come in, even if you were to receive everything you want every time, you would continually keep chasing manifestations because there would be a part of you that's not fully integrated, a part of you that doesn't feel fully worthy, that therefore seeks to prove and validate your own worth outside of yourself. And if you seek for other people or circumstances externally to validate you, you're never going to reach that state of internal fulfillment and happiness. Because outside things or people can't give that to you, at least not long term. The third point is all about feeling into different states of being, shifting into different states of being, and having the ability to do that, because this is quite self-explanatory. But if you feel worthy of the reality that you want, of being the person you want to be, if you feel worthy of being a wealthy person, if you feel worthy of being loved, if you feel worthy of being a mother, if you feel worthy of having a big group of friends, whatever it is, if you feel worthy of these things, it's going to be much easier for you to feel into it and to feel the reality of it, to live in the end, so to speak. It's much more difficult to embody something new if you don't feel worthy of it. It's like you can't change who you are if you hate who you are. I'll give you a little story. A while ago, I was struggling with unworthiness issues in relationships, and I did a meditation on this. So I meditated on having exactly the partner that I wanted, things being exactly the way I wanted them to be in relationship. And I fully visualized it and I went into it and I felt so much resistance because there was so much pain associated with that reality, because there was such a big part of me that didn't feel like I deserved that kind of love. So I felt discomfort with having that, although I wanted it. So that took me a lot of facing my own emotions, facing my own self-worth issues, integrating them, healing them within me. It took a lot of feeling old pain, old trauma, feeling it and healing it in order to have that all aside so I could really feel into that vision. So that was a very enlightening moment for me back then, which really showed me how important it was to feel worthy of the reality that you want in order to even feel into it. And the fourth point is, and that comes back to, it's not really about the manifestation, it's just a side effect, as I always say, and that's that you are not going to feel any different before the manifestation and after the manifestation. So if you don't feel worthy of your manifestation now, you also will not feel worthy of it when you have it. A question that I ask many of my clients, and that you can ask yourself now as well, is if your manifestation came in right this moment, exactly how you want it, in its most perfect expression, what would your reaction be and how would you feel? And sometimes the response I get is, I would feel calm, I would feel neutral, I would feel grateful, I would feel excited, I would feel happy. But then often when we dive a little deeper, there's some other feelings there too, like I wouldn't know how to deal with it, I wouldn't be sure whether I could really believe it or whether it would stay. I would feel scared, I would feel uncomfortable, I would question it, I would be afraid that it would be taken away again. So in these answers, you can see that there's a part that's like, I don't know if this is possible. I don't know if I deserve this. And that's because the manifestation itself isn't going to heal how you feel. That needs to come first. And it doesn't need to come first so you can have what you want, but it needs to come first because the feeling isn't going to come with the manifestation. The feeling needs to be there first. It's not going to be different before and after. So now let's get to how to step into more self-worth. And the most important thing here for me is working with the subconscious, because a lot of the examples I just gave you, a lot of the things I just told you, that's not something that you consciously decide or that you sometimes even don't even consciously know. It's often stuff that lives deep in your subconscious that you only get to when you dig deeper, when you explore what's really going on here? Why do I feel like this? Why do I feel resistance to this? Why does this pattern keep repeating? And that all resides in your subconscious. That doesn't come from your conscious awareness. If that was the case, it would be easy, right? To get to a place of more embodied self-worth, it's all about getting to the root of your subconscious beliefs and changing them at the core. So that can look like working with a coach. That's why I personally, in my coaching practice, do so much work on the subconscious mind, in the subconscious realm, both in talking with my clients and offering different perspectives and guiding them through these things, but also in a somatic way. That's just one of the things we do. But then if you don't currently have a coach, or you don't want to, or you can't right now, then you can also do things like self-hypnosis. Hypnosis is very powerful to address the subconscious mind because it puts you into a very relaxed state, a very suggestible state. Obviously, there are also hypnosis videos on YouTube. Be careful with that one because you are in a vulnerable and suggestible state of being. So do it with somebody you trust, or learn self-hypnosis so you can do it yourself. You can also just do deep meditation, very similar. Then somatic practices, for example, EFT tapping, deep breathwork journeys, embodiment practices, working with the body. Body work, somatic work can really bring up a lot of subconscious things that you weren't previously aware of. And then because I said I have a little surprise for you, and it's linked below, I'm going to put it in the comments, I created a free meditation for you. So this is all about helping you integrate these aspects of you that don't feel worthy and helping you step into a place of more embodied self-worth. You have a meditation linked there. You just need to submit your email address and then you can download it. The meditation along with some journaling prompts that will help you reflect on your experience and integrate what you explored even more deeply. please download it. It's entirely free. It's a gift from my heart to yours. And if you do so, I would love to hear how you find it. Comment below your thoughts on self-worth and your experience with it, maybe your experience with the meditation if you do it. Follow me on Instagram, send me a message there. I love connecting with you. And if you want to work with me directly, all the information about my coaching program, Recreate Yourself, is linked below. And then I'll see you next week for the next video. I love you.